Hello, so this is day 5 of our Pavlik Harness journey. Had quite a busy day today, so I took Max with me to lunch with a friend. It was better than I thought it was going to be. We did have to do nappy changing in the toilet, which was fun. Took longer than normal, but wasn't too bad. The most interesting thing was actually watching how my friend was interacting with Max with the harness, because obviously it's as new for them as it is for us, as none of our friends have had a baby, or I think known a baby that's needed the harness. But really sweet. He was quite happy most of the time, so that was really nice just to see a friend. Anyway, a few tips that I've actually received from people. They've been messaging me. So we've got to take Max to the hospital every 2 weeks or so for harness adjustments and rescans. And a lady told me that actually if I take with me a Flannel and pseudo cream and stuff like that to the hospital, when they're adjusting the brace or taking it off, I can sort of try and do a quick wash of him, which will be really helpful, because today we did do a wash and vest changed, and actually someone told me to use a flannel and not a sponge. I was sort of thinking I should use a sponge, but they said a flannel is better to control the water rather than a sponge, which is quite drippy, and then would get the harness wet. So we done that and it was fine. I can't say how thoroughly we cleaned him, but we gave it a good go. I am starting to notice that his creases are getting quite sore, obviously from where they're just not breathing, in his nappy where his legs are, the chunky thighs are all squished together. In those creases it's getting a little bit red, so we've done a good pseudo cream job, and under the armpits and everything where sort of it's all tight and closed in, so hopefully that won't get too sore. A few days ago, I actually ordered these fabric covers for the brace, which should be arriving hopefully tomorrow. So I'll put them on the leg part so they don't start rubbing and things like that. I am finding, and I don't know if anybody has any tips for this, is Max is starting to suffer quite badly with some wind, and I don't know if that's because where he can't sort of thrash his legs back and forward so much, he's struggling to release the wind, as before he'd sort of kick his legs to sort of move all the gas around in his tummy, because if anyone's had a baby that's got wind, you're sort of told to do bicycle legs and roll the legs round, which obviously I can't do now. So he's starting to get really moany, and I can see he's uncomfortable, and he's far less settled at night than he was initially. And now thinking back, the first 2 days he had the harness, where I was saying he was the most settled he's ever been and he had the best night's sleep ever, it may potentially have been sort of because of stress. He was really sleepy for a couple of days after we had the harness fitted, and I don't know if that's just because it was something new for him, which now makes me feel a little bit sad that he sort of wasn't feeling himself. But yeah, so we'll still have to work on the sleep thing, because it's tough, because even though he's not awake during the night, he's sort of moving around and moaning and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. I still haven't got around to sorting out the sleepy head yet, so I feel like a terrible person because he's not sleeping in the most optimal environment, but I'll get around to it. There's just so much going on. Another thing, when now we're talking about sleep, is I need to find a suitable sleeping bag, because I thought I'd just be able to use one of Freddie's old sleeping bags, as they'd be quite big, but there's just not enough room in them for him to have his legs comfortably. I did see some ladies in the group on Facebook talking about sleeping bags, so I just need to find out what brand they are and where I can get them. I had actually been looking on Facebook Marketplace or Vinted for stuff, and I did see that some people had some the hip dysplasia special clothes, and that they were selling them, so I might just see if I can get anything off of there if I can't find anything else. Someone else gave me a tip actually, is to buy some vest extenders, to just try and use our current vest for longer, just to give them a little bit more stretch underneath the nappy area. And I'm actually thinking I might be able to utilise them in some rompers for when we go on holiday, because the legs on the rompers, although they're quite baggy, I don't think they'd quite be baggy enough to pull all the way around. So I've ordered some off Amazon. I think it was like a set of 3 for £6, which is quite expensive really. But I'll see how they go, because I've got loads of rompers from Freddie, because he was sort of 3 to 6, 6 to 9 months in the summer last year. So they'll be perfect for Max now. Because I would need bigger ones for him anyway. So I'll see how they go. I need to do some packing for my holiday tomorrow, so I need to do a little bit of a fashion show with him, try some clothes on so I know what I'm taking. I've dug out some shorts and stuff like that, and I'm hoping they'll just fit over the harness. If not, I've no idea what we're going to do. He can't roll around in a nappy the whole time. It's not really appropriate, poor thing. Apart from that, I've decided to sort of share my story, or Max's story I should say, a little bit more widely with my social network, which has been nice. I don't generally post that much on Instagram. I'm way more of a browser than a poster. But as I'm doing sort of this diary and I'm starting to sort of engage with people and see how helpful that they've been to me, and I hopefully I'm going to be to them, I thought, sharing it with people I know might be nice. And already some sort of friends have messaged me with help. I've got a couple of people that work as physios, or know people that work as physios, or a couple of friends that have other friends that have been in this situation. So I'm already being connected with other people outside of the groups I've joined on Facebook, and they're sort of people that I know of people, if you know what I mean, which is really, really nice. What else have we got going on in the next day or so? So I really need to get my packing sorted for our holiday. I'm really worried it's going to be a bit hot and a bit sticky for Max, but I'm going to make sure we've got one of those pram fans on him all the time so he doesn't get too hot. But yeah, so I already said we've done the vest change. We're going to probably have to start doing that daily or every other day, because the quicker we get at it, the more confident we are and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing else today really. It's a normal day. Yesterday I said Freddie was back at nursery, but in 2 weeks' time, Freddie's actually reducing his days at nursery, and that was planned from the get-go. He was never going to be in nursery 5 days a week once I had Max, so we were dropping him down to 3 days. But annoyingly, Max goes to the hospital on a Thursday, and that was going to be one of the days he's had off, so I've had to do some negotiation with nursery to see if we can swap his day every other week, because it's not fair him being off nursery and having to traipse to the hospital with me and Max. So yeah, so that's been hopefully sorted. So that should be fine. But yeah, that's about it for today. I do have my car seat video to upload, just explaining what I've done with the blankets. I'll try and get that up tomorrow. I managed to get that done today. But yeah, cool. Catch you later, everybody.